I don't step out of the room for you to get undressed your first
You're
time.
going to see it anyway.
There's no modesty in the wax room.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to step out and come back in. No, I'm about to be all up in there anyways. Hey guys, welcome back to the AA Skin Babes Pod. I'm your host, Lena, licensed esthetician, and today I have Heather.
Heather Taylor, nurse injector.
Kristen.
Sanborn, licensed esthetician.
And so a face we haven't seen on this side of the camera yet, but he is always around with everything with the business. And we have Eric today.
I'm Eric Sanborn. I'm a licensed massage therapist.
And also owner to the spa. This is the Eric.
Yes, this is the Eric that you hear on the phone answering questions and scheduling appointments. He's the one that is, fixing the toilet when it breaks down. He's also
Helping me with the credit card processor.
Or the computer.
Yes, and
Yeah.
he's also yelling at Lena and I whenever we spend too much money on things we shouldn't be buying.
Okay, but he's not usually the one yelling at me. It's you, because you decided to put your room right next to my waxing room. She has a when you get to waxing, it gets fun. And
You have to make it fun.
And I'm like 3 times now, I'm in the middle of a Brazilian, like halfway through, and here comes a knock on my door. I'm like, no, we're naked. I hear it through the door. You guys need to be quieter. Oh, no, put your room next to the waxing room, Kristen. Which, speaking of that, that's what today's episode is on, is hair removal methods. We're going to be talking about waxing, laser hair removal, shaving, and kind of the pros and cons of all of that. So I decided to start this with waxing red flags. You kind of know what I'm talking about here.
I do. Mm-hmm.
So and your friends are like, what? Is this normal?
So I think a good start would be this particular client that came to you last week had been to a previous waxer. And
luckily she's friends with Heather because it was not good. She was not going to come back.
She was never going to do it again. But the things that she was saying, talking about red flags with your previous waxer, was just red flag after red flag after red flag.
And I have somebody that's like, I didn't know this wasn't normal for a waxing appointment. Yeah. And so that's what I kind of want to do. I want to kind of educate everyone on what to expect, what not to expect, how to prepare, how to take care of it afterwards. So we want to get on this one?
Yeah. I mean, I'd say start with the things that she
honestly, if you
with.
walked into a room to get waxed and someone was only had like 2 sticks and was constantly using the same sticks, what would you guys think?
Not sanitary.
Run.
Bacteria.
Run.
I mean, that would just go fly across my
If
my
your
thought
waxer
process
is not constantly throwing their sticks away, get out.
Yep.
I mean, throw your pants on, get out. You could get a nice infection. I mean,
think about everybody else's sticks that's being stuck in there.
And it's not just, it's their whole wax pot is now contaminated.
Yes.
So if they aren't throwing the sticks away for you, they weren't throwing the sticks away for someone else. And they probably weren't dumping the whole pot of wax after.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if your waxer is not throwing their sticks away, run. Gloves. If you had someone waxing you that didn't have gloves on, what would you think?
I wouldn't want to wax someone without gloves. Yeah. I'm sorry. So, it's just not sanitary. Why would they want to do? But it happens.
It happens.
So
it happens more than what you think. I see so many videos on TikTok of those waxers and they're not using gloves. I'm just like, what are we doing here? If your waxer is not putting on gloves, run. This is a big one that no one knows is lack of consultation. I know we're waxing and pulling the hair out. Like, we all have the same end goal here. Like, everyone has that end goal. But you still need a waxing consultation.
Well, I think that it's very important because we're big on education. And coming in and just talking to your client and telling them, this is why the hair grows the way it grows. Your hair grows in cycles. When you start your waxing journey, you're going to be able to pull that top layer of hair off, but you're going to have hair growing back in 10 to 14 days.
Not everyone has the same hair.
Yes.
And I have, and if you've ever been waxed by me, I have like 3 wax pots set up. They're all different kinds of waxes because no one has the same kind of hair. There are different types of hair that different waxes work best for. And so I do like to have options. Everyone's like, what's the different colors mean? I'm like, they're for different hair types. I try to use what's best for yours.
And Lena likes different colors.
I do. I like to try different waxes.
But, kind of back to that, your hair grows in cycles. And so until you get all of those hairs synced up in the same cycle, you're going to have stragglers. And
And even then,
that's
if you as a client doesn't know that, then they get upset because they have a couple little hairs left over, or they have hairs coming through within that week, and it's like, yes,
It wasn't on the same cycle as whenever we
So
waxed.
if your waxer is not giving you your expectations, especially for your first time wax, if a waxer is not consulting you and giving great expectations and like what the process really is before you reach those 4 to 5 week results, I would find a new waxer. That goes on the same with not answering questions. I always invite, and you've been on my table. If you have questions while I'm waxing, please ask. I will answer. If you have something pop in your head, and I'll answer anytime. If your waxer's not willing to answer or saying, yeah, you might want to find a more experienced waxer. You have anything for that?
Even your newbie waxers, if they had that knowledge behind them, they may not pull the strips perfectly and they may not, but if they know what they're doing and why they're doing it and how to do it, and they're just needing that extra practice, then, they're on the road to be successful and to be good waxers. So don't give up those young, don't give up on those young ones because they're not perfect, your first appointment, they're going to get better and better and better.
Yep.
Well, and like the heat of the wax.
Yes.
I mean, that's before you, I had waxes done and swore I would never do it again just because the heat of it alone, it was too hot. I mean,
and that's something that most people don't know. They think when you're getting waxed, the wax is supposed to be hot.
Yeah.
When I put wax on you, it's not hot. Sometimes it's warm. I don't ever want it to feel hot. If it feels like it's burning you, it's burning you. My wax tends to be, I use low temperature wax, so my wax tends to be a warm feeling. But if your waxer is putting wax on and it feels like it's burning you and they're like, oh, it's fine, it is burning you. That's what everyone's like. I emphasize that one. Even though it feels fine to me, I test it on my arm, it feels fine to me. If I put it on you and it feels like it's burning, even though it didn't burn me, it's probably burning you. So either asking your waxer to turn their wax down or just telling them it's too hot. Now, if they don't listen to you, that's when it's a red flag.
Yeah, then jump out. Because the wax, even if their pot is hot, it's a little warmer. And some people are just more sensitive. I can handle a hotter wax than what Heather can. And so if they can always, take and air your wax out just a couple of seconds before they lay it on and cool it off. And so there are ways to cool your wax off where, you don't have to leave and come back.
But if they're not willing to listen to you and what you're saying,
true,
I would find a new waxer. Because if they are burning you, they can be lifting skin, they can be leaving you with burns, and they're just ignoring that. Okay. What's some other ones, like red flags?
The aftercare.
Oh, yes. I hear that a lot, too. How do I take? I have clients that have been waxing before. They came to me, and they didn't know anything about taking care of it. There is a specific way to take care of down there for not to get ingrowns, and make your waxes easier as you go.
And it's not sandpaper.
Yes.
In your
down there is sensitive
areas.
I'm gonna shout out this is our product line, Fur. They have a scrub that is made for down there. It's not meant, like, you're not meant to scrub it. Like, it's like a little mask.
It's already a thin tissue sensitive area. Why would you be wanting to do something super abrasive?
Yep. And if it's leaving you like you feel like it's raw, it is raw.
And a lot of times, going back to the skin of it, if you are having ingrowns or you look like you're having little pimples, whether it's on your legs, on your thighs, anywhere, or under your arms, if you will treat it like an acne pimple, you can use salicylic. You can use different types of acne treatments on those areas to help dissolve and break open that skin that has grown back over the top of that follicle. Then that hair can pop out and you'll be a lot better off. So, that, and then sometimes you may even have to extract that hair. It's no big deal. That happens. You'll get better as you go.
You just come to me, I'll extract it.
Yeah,
those are my favorite.
I think the other thing is the types of wax, whether you're using hard wax or soft wax, and it on different areas of your body. Most of the time for speed wax, you're looking at, soft wax on the legs. up to above the knees. You have to be more careful on the thighs and use the hard wax on the thighs. The hard wax is going to adhere to the hair. It's not going to pull the skin as much. Where your soft wax is the one with the strips, and as you go along, you're laying the wax and you're laying the strip and then you're pulling it on the strips.
I'm going to disagree with you on the speed wax, though. I can speed wax with hard wax just as fast as you can speed wax with soft
Lena
wax.
is the mutant. She can do both, but
I've already said this before the
generally-
podcast. I'm a hard wax whore. I love
She
hard
is,
wax.
We know. But when you're trying to, there's a lot of different ways. I also like to use a soft wax on the legs because it gives you a great exfoliation. My legs look like sandpaper, and after I do a soft wax with it, my legs just look so much better. Not that I ever wear shorts or anybody sees my legs.
I say
But-
9 times out of 10.
But you want to be using your waxer to be using hard wax on the Brazilians, the private areas, and
I will say, if
armpits.
you have a waxer that is using soft wax, there are waxers that are very, very good with soft wax on the Brazilian. You just got to really research who you're going. Like, it matters who waxes you.
Yeah.
Waxing
Yes.
is not just waxing. It does matter who's waxing you. It matters. Like, technique really matters. Some people, and I know a couple that are really proficient with soft wax in the Brazilian area. They'll do a full Brazilian with soft wax. But they have mastered the technique for it. So it really matters who is waxing you. And you'll be able to tell if they know what they're doing by their consult and their aftercare, them telling you about aftercare. Like, that consult will really tell you that your waxer knows what they're doing.
Right.
And it's like a job interview. You want to make sure that if you haven't done waxing before. I know with us we have Lena, and then Anna's a little bit newer at waxing. I don't wax anymore because my eyesight just doesn't. You don't want me down there looking, trying to see the hair. But go and talk to a few different waxers, and don't be afraid to maybe try out one waxer and then you may go to another. Don't let them guilt you into thinking that you can only go to them. So,
And
'cause you
who waxes you matters because your personality, like, you got to have fun in a waxing appointment.
have to have a personality. Lena has a lot of fun. We have to tell her to get quiet or
My waxing clients know we have a lot of fun. I mean, you can't just
It
make
makes
it
them
awkward.
feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
Because, those are intimate areas
Yeah.
that you're
okay. And
exposed.
let's talk about. I know that our other waxer doesn't do male Brazilians or do males, but when I started out years ago, I did bodybuilders, and you just got to fit everything in that little teeny
G-string.
G-string, and and shaving just wasn't cutting it, and so they would come and get waxed, and I have no problem. I had no problems waxing men. Lena has no problems waxing men. So if you are interested in,
I will vet you, though. I will stalk your social media. I'll make sure you are not creepy.
yes. And if you are creepy, then we just invite Eric to come in and finish your wax.
Yeah, I can do it.
So don't be creepers on us. But that is something that Lena is she does wax men.
Yeah.
I don't anymore.
And okay, so we're going to do one more, and that's if your waxer tells you to shave between wax appointments, run.
Yeah.
Straight run. You're paying someone to wax the hair. Why are we shaving between wax appointments? That was a big one because that kind of shows they're breaking hairs rather than actually getting the hairs out with the wax. So if your waxer tells you to shave, that is a huge red flag because they're probably breaking the hairs, and that's why you still have to shave.
Well, and if you're still shaving in between, then that's totally messing.
Yeah, it's not.
It's
It's
messing
not
up your
getting to our
cycle.
end goal there.
And yeah, so that's the whole thing is we want to stop shaving.
Mm-hmm.
What else, Lena?
So, why wax? Waxing painful. Okay,
I
I got to put this the right way here because waxing
first
is
time.
a different kind
Yeah.
of pain. Like, it's not. I cut my arm. That it's a worst thing you ever do.
Well, and the first time's the worst
Yep, the
typically
first time
because
is
you're
the worst.
pulling out not just the root but the skin buildup down in the follicle pore area.
Just like your face, your pores get filled with sebum,
Yeah.
dead skin cells, all of that. So you're actually pulling out something that's coated and it's about twice the size of what it should be. So that's your pain with your first wax. But it's a different kind of pain. It's a sting rather than an actual pain. And when you wax, you put pressure on it, and that helps alleviate it.
Yeah.
And within 2-3 seconds, you're not stinging anymore.
Yes.
And so it's not that the worst thing you'll ever do.
And it gets better over time.
Yes.
You know, there's less hair, it gets finer, and it just makes, where before if you were shaving, and I have some clients that say they shave in the morning and then they have to shave at night again.
Yeah.
And, you know, it starts to thin the hair out and make the hair finer so that you're not having to shave twice a day. You may have to wax in shorter intervals to get started and get that hair on the right cycles.
Yeah.
But you're just cutting out all of that razor burn and everything associated with shaving.
And another huge benefit to waxing is if you are prone to ingrowns with shaving.
Yes.
Because you're cutting that hair right off at the skin, your skin gets kind of trapped over it. It gets trapped under the skin. Waxing, you will have a significantly less amount of ingrowns happen there. So if you're ingrown prone, waxing might be a better option.
We also, with the laser hair removal, have some clients that are
Yes. Well, and laser hair removal will probably be a different episode. But, you know, if you're waxing your entire body, we have some clients that come in, they do legs, Brazilians, they do armpits, they do back, they do stomach, all in one setting. Really consider laser hair reduction. Because if you have thick, coarse black hair, you're going to be looking at about the same price as doing all of those waxings, and just jump in and start doing laser hair removal. I think you'll be a lot happier. And then I wish I could say laser hair removal we promise to remove every bit of your hair for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
No, sometimes you may have some instance where that hair will grow back, but you can always come in and do touch-ups. Or that's a great way to start, you know, if you want to start your waxing journey, then
wax whatever's left
get
over.
rid of the majority of the hair and then start waxing whatever's left. And I think you'll be a lot happy that way.
Yeah.
But real quick, you want to...
Well, we're going to hit one more thing
Okay.
here on pre-waxing, how to get ready for your first appointment.
Oh, yes.
Me personally, as a waxer, I prefer the longer the better. I prefer 3 to 4 weeks of hair growth. Do not trim. I have a couple that come in and trim. They actually trimmed it too short. And so even though they grew it out for 4 weeks, they trimmed. And then I couldn't wax them because it was too short. Now, depending on the hair type, sometimes I can get that shorter hair. But if you have thick hair, don't trim it, because then we risk breakage. And we don't want to break
you need to
it.
be able to grab it and pull, pinch and pull. And that way
I say 3 weeks is a pretty safe mark.
Yeah,
Like,
the hair is going to be able to grab in the wax. If you can't pinch and pull it, the wax isn't going to be able to grab it.
yeah. And it honestly makes it easier. The longer the hair it is, the easier it is for you, because the longer it is, the easier my wax gets on it and the more I get out for those first strips.
And then I think also be nice to us and don't come in right after you get done working out and everything else.
And that's honestly a personal preference. Me, I
Yes.
don't care.
Yeah.
I clean the area anyway.
Well, sometimes hot and sweaty, you know, makes it a little more difficult.
I would prefer them coming to me right after a workout than getting waxed and going to a workout.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
So
True.
I really don't care. I'm a waxer that does not care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can shower before you come in, or you don't shower. I don't care. I'm not going to judge. I'm just going to clean, do my job, have a fun time while doing it. And so, but post wax, we don't want to work out. We don't want to have sexy time. We don't want to do anything that will irritate
No
the
tanning,
area. No tanning. We
No
also
s-
can't spray tan right after. We got to give that a good 24 hours. Anything that will make you sweat, cause friction, wait 24 hours before doing it. Saunas, hot tubs, swimming, give it 24 hours.
Well, because you're opening up an
Yep.
area that could potentially
Yeah.
get bacteria in it. And
So you want to keep everything nice and clean and
And after your first wax, I'll send you home with a little take-home kit.
Yes.
It's got a scrub, an oil, an ingrown serum. It'll have all that. And so you'll want to exfoliate a couple of times a week, moisturize every single night, keep everything soft and moisturized so we eliminate ingrowns. And then and also preparing for your first appointment, come in with loose clothes. Like, don't wear leggings. Also, if you're okay with not wearing underwear, leaving with no underwear is the best. But nothing that's going to sit there and cause friction and heat. We just gotta keep it happy, especially after your first one. You'll be a little swollen, you'll be a little red, you'll be a little sensitive. We just gotta keep the area clean, happy, and minimize friction as much as possible.
And with Eric here, he's not saying much right now, but he hears these conversations every day. So when you're calling
you've been waxed before.
My arms, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've waxed your arms, your chest, your
and
back.
stomach.
Yeah.
Every once in a while,
Yeah.
when I was learning, he let me wax his leg.
Oh, wow. Eric's the kind of guinea pig for everything.
He is.
But, if you're calling in and you get Eric on the phone, don't be afraid to talk to him because he knows he's around us all the time. We carry on all kinds of conversations. But anyway, let's talk about our fur products. We do carry the fur products.
Yeah, the fur products are, in my opinion, one of the best for mainly intimate areas. But they do have scrubs and stuff for like the rest of the body. Their gentle scrub is the best for Brazilians. They have a stronger scrub that I recommend for body. I don't recommend it for the Brazilian. Once again, if you're rubbing sandpaper on that is not comfortable and you're probably rubbing it raw and you're going to cause more issues. Their oil, top notch on keeping everything moisturized. Also, post wax, it helps calm and soothe so well.
So that's what's important is make sure that you have the right type of skincare and post, and that
really
makes a better
research
experience.
who you get waxed by.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes such a difference in the comfortability and the experience you have for especially if it's your first wax.
And the results and
and just everything feels more comfortable. And waxing is painful, but if you're leaving
It's
there
worth it.
and it is actually painful, get a new waxer. It should not.
Yeah.
It should not be the worst thing you ever do, and it actually shouldn't be really painful. Also, I don't judge in my wax room. I have a couple kickers, actually. Yeah, I have a couple kickers. I literally have to sit on their leg when I pull a strip because I know they're going to kick or they jump. So if you're scared or nervous, ask all the questions. Make sure you have a waxer that is open to all the questions, want to listen and hear what you want. And I'm not judging. Bring in all the hair,
Yeah.
all of it.
You can scream as much as you want. We just like to get on to Lena.
Oh, now she's going to say that. She comes knocking on my door. You're being too damn loud. She's the one that moved right next to the wax room. What'd you expect?
True story.
And my clients are so fun.
You do have some fun clients.
We have some. And that's why everyone's like, how do you have fun waxing all day? I was like, girl, we have fun.
Oh, yeah.
You got to make a time of it. This is only so serious, okay? I don't step out of the room for you to get undressed. Your first
You're
time.
going to see it anyway.
There's no modesty in the wax room. I'm not going to step out and come back in. No, I'm about to be all up in there anyway. So I'm going to stay right there while you get dressed. I'm not going to stare at you. I'll turn around if you want me to. I don't care. Just tell me. I'll sit there and make eye contact while you get undressed. I don't care. Just tell me.
All right.
All right. Well, huge thank you to everyone for hanging out with me today. Thank you guys for listening. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.